Number 6.
I think this list for the under $3,000 kayaks is going to give you the best price to performance ratio in kayaks. Anything more than $3,000, you're kind of overpaying. Anything under $2,000, and you're leaving some performance on the table for the price. But let's kick this thing off with the Wilderness System Recon 120 HD. This boat comes in at 12 feet 2 inches with a width of 38 inches, weighs 115 pounds, and has a 450 pound weight capacity. This model of the Recon 120 does include the Helix drive, which is their version of a pedal drive system. Comes in at $2,639. You can buy this kayak without that Helix drive for around $1,200. You also have the ability to store rods on the inside with that big front hatch, as well as countless other things in that front hatch. It's got nice little tackle trays kind of to the right and left of you, where you can throw spent lures and stuff like that, kind of keep it organized, let lures dry out before you put them back in the box. Has a huge tank well in the back with some nice flat areas so you can lay your rods and reels horizontally and let your reels lay flat on the deck right there. You have two really long tracks on the left and right in front of you to mount rod holders and fish finders and all your accessories. Nice open platform, very customizable, lots of flat surfaces to add tracks and accessories, as well as built-in tracks. Nice big front dry hatch, standing pads, nice stadium frame seat. Looks very comfortable. Looks like you can mount a power pole in the back as well. Wilderness System also makes a Helix drive for a Torpedo, so you can actually add a motor to this kayak as well. And starting out with a pedal drive, you can move over to a motorized kayak. And this boat can also be purchased in a paddle form if you prefer to skip the pedal drive and just buy paddle and then put a motor on it. And you'll have a Torpedo and use the same rudder as you would with the pedal drive. Like I said earlier, the Recon 120 HD comes in at $2,639, and it is available in 5 different colors: aqua, steel gray, midnight, mesa camo, and infinite yellow.
Number 5.
At number 5 on the list, we have the Town Sportsman PDL 120. This kayak comes in at 12 feet long, 36 inches wide, with a weight of 116 pounds and a capacity of 500 pounds. I actually owned this kayak for a couple months, as you guys can see in this clip here. I had the Ember Camo version. It was a great kayak. I ended up switching to the Hobie Mirage Lynx, and that was mainly just due to weight, because this thing is over 100 pounds, or around about 100 pounds or more. So it's not the lightest kayak out there, but it does have a lifetime hull warranty from Old Town, which is great. It has a super long, I think 5-year PDL drive warranty on it. So they stand behind their products 100%. It's laid out great. The rudder works great. The deployment system is pretty awesome. A lot of Hobie's deployment systems I don't really care for, because it's a pull rope and all the ropes are inside and all the pulleys are inside the hull, which are hard to get to and work on. This one's fairly easy to work on and fairly easy to get down. It's already got marine mat standing pads, so you don't have to worry about that or adding those and paying that kind of money. And this thing comes in at $2,349, which is a great value for this boat. It's one of the lower end price wise on this list, but I think it outperforms that price exponentially. You have a great front hatch on this thing that is watertight. You got transducer mounts, tracks for fish finders. You have 2 18-inch tracks for fish finders and rod holders. A great seat. This is actually the top water that you're seeing now, but they've upgraded the seat and the standing pads on the Sportsman Edition. That is the PDL system, which has a nice dry hatch in it, and it floats. And there's the rudder, super easy deployment, super easy steering. Really can't say enough good things about Old Town's products, especially the new Sportsman line. I would definitely recommend the Sportsman pretty much over anything from their line if you're interested in it. It's something I would definitely recommend. Again, the 120 PDL comes in at $2,349, and and is available in two colors, Ember Camo and Photic Camo.
Number 4.
Next on the list is the Hobie Compass. This kayak comes in at 12 foot with a 34-inch width at 400-pound capacity. The seat can hold a 275-pound person, and the weight is 87 pounds. So fairly light for this type of kayak. Pedal drive kayaks are usually between 80 to 100 plus pounds, all the way up to like 150. So pretty fairly light kayak for a pedal drive, especially a rotomolded kayak. This is another kayak that I've actually personally owned. Me and my wife had this kayak for probably 2 years. It was really hers, but I did use it here and there. Good kayak. The seat is kind of a weak point with it. The seat is a little cheaper than most other Hobie kayaks, but with the Hobie Compass, now you do get the 180 drive with the kick-up fins, which didn't used to be a thing. It used to just be the standard old GT, one-way, no reverse Mirage drive. Now you get those, and now they're just charging a premium for the color camo instead of for the camo and some upgrades. This kayak does not have a lot of dry storage. It does have a bungee net in the front, nice tank well in the back. You can add a power pole adapter. It's a very basic kayak, good recreational kayak. This kayak is a little expensive for what it is, but it comes in at $25.99, and it comes in 3 colors, seagrass green, papaya orange, and camo.
Number 3.
Next up, we have the Native Watercraft Slayer Max Propel 12.5. This kayak comes in at 12.5 feet, 34 inches wide, weighs 95 pounds, 125 fully rigged with the seat and propel drive, and has a weight capacity of 500 pounds. This is a kayak that I've never owned or even been in. I've never even test driven a propel drive, but it's always seemed like a great kayak. Native has always made great kayaks. A lot of people rave about them. Tons of track space, tons of dry storage. Looks like a comfortable seat, huge tank well, plenty of power pole mounts and motor mounts and all that stuff. I do think the boat is slightly overpriced, but with their track record, it's justifiable. But with that Old Town 120 PDL coming in at about $500 cheaper, I might go that route. But this is still a great kayak. If you're in the market for a Native Watercraft, definitely check this one out. Comes in at $2,899 and in 3 colors, Hidden Oak, Gator Green, and Gray Goose.
Number 2.
At number 2, we have my personal kayak, the Hobie Mirage Lynx. The Lynx is an 11-foot boat with a 36-inch width, has a weight capacity of 350 pounds, and a fully rigged weight of 63 pounds. That's with the Mirage drive and the seat. Without those, it's 47 pounds, which is the main attraction to this boat from a lot of people, is that it's super lightweight, but it does give you a Mirage drive pedal drive system at that weight, which is amazing. This is not a rotomolded boat, so you don't have like really any dry storage. There is a little pouch on the back of the seat, but that's about it. But the rudder completely pulls off, the seat completely pulls off, and the drive pulls out. There's nothing left on this boat. It is just a flat platform that weighs 45 pounds. Easy to rooftop, super lightweight. Durability, we're not too sure on yet. Stay tuned to this channel if you want to see how it holds up. I'm definitely going to be doing a full review, and I'm not going to take it easy on the Lynx either. So if you want to see that, make sure you like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos about that. This kayak comes in at $2,999 with 2 colors, Ivory Dune and Papaya Orange.
Number 1.
And at number 1, we have the Old Town Sportsman 106 powered by Minn Kota. This is a kayak that I personally owned, that my wife owns now, and if she didn't, I probably wouldn't have the Lynx. I'd probably have this, because this kayak is probably the kayak that I've had the most fun fishing out of all of them. Out of pro anglers, out of the autopilot, out of everything. It's simple, it's easy to use, it's a smaller package, it has all the bells and whistles that you want. Sure, you could spend an extra $1,000 and get an autopilot and get the spot lock feature. I do think it's probably worth that extra $1,000 because it is a game-changing feature. You know, if it's something you don't really need, then look no further than the Old Town 106 powered by Minn Kota. You get the 45-pound thrust Minn Kota motor on it. Super simple. Has a dry storage in it. Kicks up nice and easy. No pull ropes, nothing like that. Comes out of the kayak pretty easy. Comes with the plug so that you can plug this thing and take it down the river and paddle it. But you still have that rudder and you can steer with your feet while you're floating down the river, so you don't have to pick up your paddle as much. Obviously it has nice safety features just like the autopilot. Great tracks front and back. I think they're 18 inches, all 4 of them, so that you can mount your fish finders, rod holders, whatever you want to mount, tank well, and in the front. Got a nice big front hatch on this thing, good dry storage, an easy to use throttle system, which is one thing I do like about it better than the autopilot, which has the remote system, which you're constantly like fumbling with. This thing stays right where it is, you know where it is, and you just hit the throttle forward to go forward and backward to go backward. Super easy to use. Battery sits under your seat. This is by far probably my favorite kayak, and if my wife didn't have one, I'd definitely have this boat instead of the Lynx. You do have to find a cart for it. We use the Wilderness Systems cart, which works fine as long as you strap it in. But this thing is rigged out to the gills. You can put fish finders on it with transducer spot and run all your stuff. It's already got the pre-drilled through hole fittings and all that stuff. I mean, literally this kayak is set up ready to fish. Tool holders, everything. A front-facing rod holder, rear-facing rod holders. It's even power pole ready in the back if you wanted to add a power pole to it. But it looks complicated with all the wiring and the battery and the motor and everything. But this is a super simple system. And you can leave the motor at home and go paddle it just fine. Just get a longer paddle. That is one thing about Old Towns. They do not include a paddle like most Hobies do. So just know that going in. And the battery's not included either, so know that going in. You definitely want to go lithium with the battery. You don't want to add that weight of a lead acid battery. So let's read the specs of this. This kayak comes in at 121 pounds. You got to add the weight of the battery into that. So like I said, go lithium, adds about another 15 or 20 pounds. So it's a little bit heavier of a boat, but it's a 10'6" package with a 37-inch width. Comes in 2 colors, Ember and Photic Camo. But the weight capacity on a 10.5-foot boat, 525 pounds. It's incredibly stable, especially for a 10'6" boat. It's up there with like things like the Pro Angler and the Autopilot. I mean, this thing is super stable. I feel totally comfortable standing in it. And I'm glad that they have such a long promo video because I have a lot to say about this kayak. But it does come in at $28.99, which is about $200 or $300 more expensive than it did when I bought it a couple years ago. But I still think it's worth it, especially in this market. Things are what the things are, and the price of all these boats are going up. So at $2,900, I still think it's worth it. It's still below $3,000, which is like the golden mark of kayaks. So you definitely can't go wrong, especially with that 2-year warranty on the motor and a lifetime warranty on the hull.